Aha, salty sailors. Welcome to this, well, how shall I call it? Rectification of the video that we did with the nylon bolts, with the fix of the water tanks. Sometimes you need to take a risk and give it a shot. So that's what we're doing. Actually, I'm continuing with putting the nylon bolts in one and actually all of the water tanks. So here you see these nylon bolts and they are fixating this thing. Today I'm going to replace these nylon bolts for stainless steel bolts, and I'm going to explain you why. But I at least urge you that if you ever do something to your boat, do your own research and find out what is important, and just don't copy everything you see on the interwebs, because you might be wrong. And if you then do something, do put it on the internet, because you might be corrected. And thank you for that, Frank. So if I counted correctly, it's 24 per lid. And it does seal the water tanks pretty good. However, what a viewer of YouTube told me is that this is basically the skin of the boat, because if there for any reason would be a leak on the other side of that lid, basically all the water pressure comes on that, and that is in itself not the biggest issue. But if that would be the case, then I can never ever open this up anymore to change it for stainless or something else, because I would have to open the lid, and with a big hole in it, I cannot do anything anymore. So my recommendation is as follows. Let's say you have a worst case scenario. There is about 200 liters of water in that tank. The boat flips over and that water pressure comes on that lid. Then the lid comes off, worst case, or at least it's damaged. You flip back and there is a hole in the hull somewhere below the water tanks. As that is one big compartment, there is no way to kind of stop that then anymore, except for getting it off. And that made me think that that is not the best of ideas. Especially not, as you will see, that it takes a lot of time to replace these bolts and nuts. So, without further ado, let's get started. So let's not make it only drama and also show you something fun. So I bought this Joker from Wera, and yes, I just paid for it. And this is a very remarkable wrench, I think you call it, but then a normal one. So let me first show you the first great thing. So if you put it on, you can basically wrench it off, which I think is very handy. And obviously with the clicker, it wrenches that way or that way. So it wrenches two sides. And then this is very smart, I think. First off, you can put it in and then it doesn't go through because there is a plate holding it. And secondly, if you would want to do half turns, so to say, so let's say you need to do something in a very confined space, then you can do that as well. So you don't have to, like with other ones, you have to turn it. So you can see this is straight. Normally it's not straight. And that is because there is 8 teeth in here. Like you can put the bolt in like that, but you can also put it in like that, which I think is really smart. And especially this part is very helpful, because there are places where you have to go under and then you have to put it over all the time. So now you can just do it like this. It's like super easy. So just a little tip. Wera Joker, I thought it was brilliant. Fortunately, they were not all hidden under some piece of wood. So we used the electrical machine to get out most of them. And it took about an hour and a half. And the complex ones we used the Wera tool for. And then we were able to open the lid. Hey, there you are. So You might be wondering whether or not I came up with that all by myself. Well, I will tell you, I didn't. It was Frank who actually pointed it out via YouTube. He saw my video and he said, well, are you sure about this? He has a nautical background and I put forward his thoughts on this to Harry, and Harry actually confirmed. He said, yep, nylon would work, but you never know for how long, which I think is not the best of ideas. So I've lit up the tank a bit, so now you can actually see all the bolts, and I need to remove every single one of them, which is not an issue, but is a to-do. So with a little bit of help from my friends here, they're all out. Yay! Now, if I am not mistaken, this contains exactly even more of these spare ones, but also the original stainless ones. I think these look a bit dirty, so probably there's some sort of a grease in there. But obviously the problem wasn't solved by just putting stainless in. You need to have something to prevent the corrosion. And for that I bought Lano Coat, a tip from a Zeiler's forum, and actually they said you use this because it's non-toxic. It's based on sheep fat, and it neutralizes acids, alkalis and salts. It's from Forspar, and it's naturally green. So I have bought this as well, so I'm not sponsored with this, but I'm gonna try this. And the idea is to put the stainless steel bolts in with this stuff and then just open it up after half a year and see how it holds, like if there's any corrosion or anything. But the first thing is, and on that I'm dreading a bit, is to clean all these and the others. So that's gonna take a bit, I guess. So normally I would have used this. This is a special fiber for aluminum. You can't use steel because you get rust. Put that on your hurdy thing and then do each thread, like up and down and around and around and around. So it takes ages. And I figured, hey, let's see if it actually also works with some afwasmiddel. So it's like just a regular dishwasher cleaner on boiling hot water, and I can tell you it really seems to work. So let me do some more brushing and show you the results. So I would say this is yucky water. And there was already yucky water in it. Haha, hot. Better. That's it. Pick one. Look. Brilliant. And in the meantime, as we say in Dutch, verschil moet er wezen. Huh? Maar jij? Ja, ga er maar weer bij liggen. Hey. Yes, you could say I'm exaggerating, but I wanted to have them clean and dry. And I figured the towel was the best way to do it. And then with your nails in the thread, you just run them and run it out with the machine. And then they are spiffy clean and good to go, as new. interesting to see in the comments. Like, do you recognize this feeling that you try one and then you think like, uh-oh, now I can't stop anymore? I think it's the feeling of succeeding on this. So one of the benefits of this stuff is that it says it will not drip. And I kind of understand that because it's like super hard. So I don't have a clue how to put this on these. It's like really hard. So I'm just going to try to scoop out a bit. Put that. By the way, this stuff smells horrible. It's like, it smells like sheep. Just see what happens. We throw it in the microwave. Sorry. It does become a bit more less, I mean, this actually makes sense. So I guess I need to warm it up a bit. All right, this is perfect to actually put on these nuts. So it's actually good to see that this stuff does become hard again as it cools down. I was thinking, what am I going to use to put this somewhat greasy goop on? I needed something from iron, and then I thought, hey, why don't I use an eierschaaltje? So, this is enough or too much? I think it is a bit too much. Let's start with a bit less. So, this is so smelly. Ew. And it's like gooping all over. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Anyway. Alright. Let's put some Trottle Tomato. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Woohoo! It smells! Oh, it goes really fast actually. A lot faster than I expected. Oh, what a smell. So you might feel that I'm kind of exaggerating this a bit, but I actually think that Murphy, and especially his law, are something to be taken into account, especially if you're on a sailboat. So doing it like this gives me a very good feeling. So there is actually one other guy. You had Murphy's Law, but you also have Peter's Principle. And I read a book about him. He has made a study of hierarchical, really difficult word. Hierarchology, go wrong. So in the Peter's Principle book it says, why does it always go wrong? And I think this is a good reason to replace these bolts, because in this case I'm better safe than sorry. Alright, let's have a looky. So that should all look nice and spiffy. was the last one. They all have now 7 Newton meters, which I think is enough. But I guess we will find out if we will fill them up and we go sailing, because if we then see water in the bilge, or there, or here, then we know something is wrong. Ah, done. Good. Nice. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. And back is the cabin soul. Thank you for watching this episode of Sailing Windrose, a bit of an intermediate episode and one where we had to correct a possible mistake. Very happy YouTube helped me to find you. Your comments made this happen, and Frank, as I said before, I want to thank you very much. So I would say YouTube possibly saved my life, but at least gave us a new adventure and we learned something. So that's good. And now I'm gonna have dinner. See you later. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe. See you next time. Cheers all. Oh, this is not really clean after it came from the dishwasher.
That's a lot better.